Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Upset alert. Upset alert. That's what a lot of people are saying about Jaime Munguia as he gets ready to square off with Canelo Alvarez. As you can see in this image, Jaime Munguia is a big boy and strong. If you didn't know, Jaime Munguia sits at 43 wins, 34 knockouts. Those 43 opponents, maybe the last 5 are names people are familiar with, but other than that, he was just basically getting ready for this moment in time. And all the stars have lined up. Now, he's with Freddy Roach. And he's a young guy, man. You know, he's only 27 years old. He's been fighting for a long time. Kind of like Canelo, you know, started off young, putting in work. But the question about Jaime Munguia, can he outbox Canelo to a decision? Some people thinks he can. Can he knock him out? Some people thinks he can. Now, what I will tell you is, I don't know if he can outbox him or if he can knock him out, but I think he has everything it takes to win. But I'm shocked that Canelo chose to fight Jaime Munguia. Now, I'm not saying Canelo putting duck sauce on the fried rice with Benavidez. Well, let me say that differently. I'm not saying Canelo has ever ducked a fighter, but just because he's never ducked a fight doesn't mean he's not ducking Benavidez now. But the bottom line is, Jaime Munguia, I guess we could describe any fight as a cherry pick, right? But Jaime Munguia is not a cherry pick. And I'm going to tell you right now, Freddy Roach, whenever he gets his hands on a fighter, he makes him better. How can you not give Jaime Munguia a chance to upset the apple cart? Canelo has slowed. He's more strategic in his approach, but Canelo can fight. He has experience. He has heart. He has the combinations. He's able to cut the ring off. He uses angles. He can counter you. And he can crack. And Munguia has proven in the past that he's there to be hit. But when they were talking to Freddy Roach, he was just talking about how Munguia is doing great. He trains his ass off. He's a good student. He's learning every day. He's doing very well. And he does believe that Jaime Munguia can knock out Canelo Alvarez. Now, I think anything can happen in a fight. The best fighter doesn't always win. It's the fighter who boxes the best on that night. And sometimes stars line up and you see a fighter who shouldn't get a knockout go on to get a big knockout. But what I do know for a fact is Jaime Munguia can cause a lot of trouble for Canelo. Now, does that mean that the trouble is going to continue all the way across 12 rounds? Or does that mean Canelo figures him out? Or, you know, we don't know. That's what, to me, that makes this fight very intriguing. Now, the only thing that really concerns me is when I hear Canelo saying, I've done everything there is to do in boxing. There's nothing else for me to accomplish. When I hear him say stuff like that, makes me wonder, not if he's putting duck sauce on the carne asada, but if my boy got that silk pajama syndrome. I know he wanted to become a billionaire. I know he has a lot of businesses. I know Canelo's making real money outside of boxing, everything. He's out there golfing, everything. You know what I'm saying? And he knows when fighters see him, they want the payday. But I think Canelo has got the PJ syndrome. But we will find out. But the more people talk about it, they tend to criticize Canelo, and as a result, more and more people are rooting for Munguia. It's like they're mad at Canelo for not fighting Benavidez, so they hope Munguia clips Canelo. That way Munguia becomes the undisputed champ, because they feel Munguia will fight David Benavidez with no problem. And you know what? I tend to think that Munguia probably would be very adamant about fighting David Benavidez next. But this is the question. If David Benavidez goes up to 175, which should be a natural transition from 168, how does he do if he has to cut that weight to come back down to 168? Right? Most fighters go up, they don't come back down. So what happens to David Benavidez? Is he losing his edge? Is Canelo saying, you know what, this is what I was waiting for? I fight Munguia, I think I'll beat him. Then I'll call David Benavidez out, and then he'll have to melt down because David Benavidez is not putting on 7 pounds of muscle. 7 pounds of fat. He's putting on 7 pounds of muscle. And he's working with Angel Heredia. But you're going to have to strip that muscle off to come back down to 168 to fight Canelo. Now you could see Canelo with the silk pajama syndrome, but you could see David Benavidez with the Roy Jones, John Ruiz fighting at heavyweight coming back down to 175 syndrome. Although he's not losing as much weight, he still had the same similar effect on your body, where you just can't pull the trigger, your legs are there, you can't perform. Stripping muscle off is different from taking off fat. So we just gotta wait and see. But I do think Canelo, this could be the plan. Did he know David Benavidez was gonna bubble up to 175? I don't know. I would think he did know, because boxing circles are small and there's a lot of communication between promoters. And it's so corrupt, the secret society's in full effect. At the end of the day, these fighters are pawns. Everybody wants to make money off them. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a conversation saying, hey, something. Benavidez is bubbling up to 175. So you get through Munguia and something. We'll bring him back down to 168. Then you guys can fight. That's just me. You know how I like to look into things and plot twists. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But we got to give Munguia some credit to pull off the upset. He's young, he's strong, he's confident. He got some wins against some decent names. He dominated a guy Canelo couldn't get out of there, and he stopped him. So he's got all the confidence in the world going into this fight. You could see a situation where he may, if he beats Canelo, be setting the precedence of what's to come with AJ and Fury. Similar opponents, one dominates and knocks him out. With Jaime Munguia and Canelo. AJ and Fury, similar opponents. One dominates and knocks them out. So, confident in both fighters, but we're talking about Jaime Munguia. And that could translate into the fight, could show up on fight night, and we could get a massive upset, and Mexico will have a new hero. But I think even if Jaime Munguia knocks Canelo out, I think Canelo will get a 20 count. Like a 20-piece nugget and shit. They may give somebody else a 10-piece nugget. Canelo getting a 273-piece nugget. Like, they ain't gonna let that motherfucker he ain't just gonna take a loss like that. There's gonna be some shit. Water gonna splash in the corner. Something. They ain't gonna let Canelo lose. But if Munguia hits him with the Mexican bing bing, because Munguia is from Tijuana, Baja, California, Mexico. If he hits him with the Tijuana, Baja, California, Mexico bing bing, put his ass out, Munguia may be on to something. And Freddy Roach, even though people don't want to give him credit as a trainer, you got to give, he's an old head now. You got to give him credit, and you got to sit back and pay homage to Eddie Futch, who squared away Freddy Roach. Freddy Roach had no options after his boxing career came to an end. Freddy Roach has done a lot to help transcend the sport of boxing and boxers' lives. So I don't see why people hate on Freddy Roach. Actually, he hasn't said anything for me to even say anything crazy about him. So I don't know why they dislike him. I don't know. But anyway, I say upset alert. And we're going to see. We are going to see. And then if Canelo does beat the Tijuana, Baja, California, Mexico native, he may fight Benavidez. Benavidez has stripped that weight down. But Benavidez may say, you know what, man, F Canelo. I'm going to sit here and get busy at 175, try to fight Benavidez of Bivol, which I think Benavidez is a much tougher fight. But, hey, Benavidez, he ain't afraid of nobody. So we just have to wait and see how it plays out. Y'all keep cool. I'm going to sleep in the breeze.